guys, welcome, and I'm excited to have with us today a couple of people. So Taylor Prince, my business partner, as you guys know, the greatest female, and I'll just say the greatest entrepreneur in real estate, Spring Benson, partner of Taylor and I's. Tracy Barber's coming to us all the way from the great state of Massachusetts, and the one and only, the CEO at Real, Tamir Poleg, coming from, I think you're in Israel right now.
That's correct.
All right. So we've got, it's going to be quick, guys, but every earnings call comes out. I try to interpret it the best I can. I really watch how the market interprets it, because I think there's a lot of people that are smarter than me. But I mean, Tamir, from a 30,000 foot view, earnings report after earnings report after earnings report has been huge. So give us a 30,000 foot view of why the market's reacting so well. It has to be hard for you to sit on this stuff, because you know what you're going to say long before it gets out there. So give us kind of a 30,000 foot view, and then I kind of want to go through some bullet points.
Well, obviously, we demonstrated pretty much explosive growth for many quarters now and many years now. And I think that the market reacts very positively to that, just because of the fact that the market has been tough. The real estate market has been tough in the past two and a half years. And we're pretty much the only company that's growing significantly, and we're taking market share. So people or investors are encouraged by the fact that there's a company here that knows how to grow through good times and bad times, and it seems like we're immune to market conditions, which, obviously nobody's immune. Our financial reporting probably would have been better if the market was better, but I think that investors take a lot of comfort in the fact that we improve profitability, we grow revenue, we take market share, we add agent count, we're doing something right. At the same time, we also invest heavily in innovation. So we're in the forefront of innovation and manage to keep cash flow positive and adjusted EBITDA positive as well. So I think that this is very attractive to investors, and this is why they're reacting.
Mm-hmm. So Spring, you and I have talked about this. Your husband runs a tech company. And right now in the market, I mean, the two stocks that it appears to me are the two companies that like the industry looks at, or the economy looks at and says, I'm not huge on real estate companies. I'm not huge on tech companies. And so Real is a tech, real estate company. Sisu is a tech company in the real estate space. So from your point of view, Spring, and from what Brian runs Sisu, what are your thoughts on this? Because how hard the tech sector's been. And so to see these reports come out and to see the valuation of the company continue to climb, what's been your takeaway?
Yeah, well, I think there's two components. Real estate's been difficult, as Tamir said,
right,
and the tech space, and then real estate and tech combined. That's a hard one right now. I think everybody's feeling it, but Real's been impressive because they're growing. Like Tamir said it perfectly. Like the innovation, the growth, the agents, like we're attracting a lot of great quality people that are just excited to have something new. And I think what's making us different is that we're not the same old. Like there is the innovation that's coming to play with it. And so I think that the market's also seeing like, oh my gosh, you're growing and in a down market, like we need to pay attention to what they're doing.
100%. So Tamir, talk about this. Year over year revenue is up 74% in a down market. We'll get into agent growth, but what are some of the contributing factors to us being able to increase our revenue by 74% in a really tough economy?
Yeah, well, first of all, just to piggyback on what Spring said, I think that investors are starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and they're starting to think about who are those companies that we want to bet on if we think about housing recovery. So they understand that, cycles don't last forever, and there will be a reaction in the opposite way, and they want to start placing their bets. And I think that we're starting to see that coming into play right now. And obviously, we are a very attractive alternative if somebody wants to bet on a housing recovery in 2025, 2026. In terms of our revenue growth, obviously, it all starts with our amazing agents and the culture that we built that is really focused on production. So everybody at Real wants to succeed in real estate, and everybody helps each other. So the way I think about agent attraction or growing our agent count is by creating value. Let's first invest in creating sufficient value that will attract agents, and then revenue will follow. And I think that for many years, we were very focused on building that value, having that proposition in place, having the right economics, building the right technology. And now people are starting to notice, and agents are coming to us. And obviously the fact that we focus on production and focused on agents that want to succeed in selling real estate, that has helped us instead of just, growing agent count, but not really growing revenue.
Well, and Taylor, you know this, but creating revenue is one thing, creating profit is a whole nother. So I want Tamir to touch on the profitability has gone up 71%, but you and I run a couple of different businesses, Taylor, and to some degree, we're like, well, revenue is irrelevant. Like, yeah, Spring, we talk about this profitability of running a real estate team, right? Like your team can do, Spring and I spoke in an event in Portland last week, and it was like, your gross commission income is irrelevant. Net commission is what matters. And to some degree, gross company profit is great, but at some point it has to actually show in actual gross profit. What are your thoughts on that, Taylor?
Well, I think we're in a market, and since I got into this in 2004, 2005, it's a market surrounded by people that are obsessed with number of units, with how many deals have I done, with hitting these goals that aren't focused on profit. So I think for us, we linked up with some great people that taught us profitability is way more important than number of units or, volume, whatever. And so I think the thing that's been most impressive to me when I see these new, like when Wallet was launched, when Leo and this AI stuff that's been going on is hitting, that just got announced at Rise, some of the new features there, I look at them like, why didn't some of these amazing companies that have been around forever think of that? Why didn't they think of Wallet? Why didn't they think of this AI stuff that Real is launching? And what I always come back to is we have amazing leaders, the people that are running this company. You mentioned amazing agents, Tamir, but amazing agents would never hitch their wagon unless there was amazing leadership. And so the thing that just keeps coming back to me is the people that are steering this ship are thinking so far ahead. They're not thinking at volume and number of units. They're thinking at profitability and how they can create real wealth for the company, for the shareholders, for the people at Real. So I guess my question, Tamir, is there's that old adage that the people that you surround yourself with, if you look at the 5 people that you spend the most time with, that's pretty much who you are. And you've surrounded yourself and compiled such an incredible team, an amazing team. The leadership is just, we've seen it grow in the few years we've been here, and you've just got this incredible team. And it seems like that's tied directly to the profitability of the company. Talk a little bit about the team and just the leadership. What you guys are doing is incredible.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. I'll start by saying that I'm having the best time of my life every day. And the first few years are just challenging when you're trying to battle everything and you're doing everything. You're doing support, you're doing marketing, you're doing innovation, all of those things. But in the past 2 years, we've really gathered an all-star team. So from Sharon to Jenna and Dre and Pritesh and Michelle and Alex, each and every one of them are just both expert in what they do. They're phenomenal. They're the best you can find. They're team players. We feel like family. We're really united around this vision of building better futures for agents, and we're really passionate about what we do. And I think that when everything is clicking, including the human component of leadership, this is the outcome. The outcome is great results, great innovation, and just a company that moves forward and doesn't look at what others are doing, doesn't look at what the market is doing. We do our own thing. And I'm so grateful to be in that group.
So Tamir, beyond just agent, so the agent count is up, and I want to hit Tracy on this. Agent count's up 80%, almost 79% year over year. What are some of the other contributing factors as far as profitability increasing? Because I know some of the stuff we've launched that we're super excited. Taylor and I are very active. Like I think Wallet is, and Jimmy Mackin said it to me last year. He's like, this is the most, innovative thing in real estate since the creation of the MLS. Like Jimmy's big thinking on this. So, but that we haven't seen that yet in our profitability. So what are some of the other contributing factors beyond just agent count?
Is this for Tracy or for me?
For you.
Oh, okay. Obviously, we own a title company and a mortgage company. The nice thing about ancillary services is the gross margins. So very profitable businesses, which we're now starting to or trying to scale. I think that the key is through a lot of innovation, product innovation, that will allow us to just create a more seamless transaction for consumers and for our agents. And I think that that would be the key. It'll take a little bit time, and obviously we're not looking for shortcuts. I think that the wallet within probably 12 to 24 months will show significant profitability. It's, at the end of the day, I think that people at the beginning thought that we're trying to build a brokerage. And now people are starting to understand that this is not exactly a brokerage. This is something different. This is a real estate technology company that yes, a brokerage is a part of its business, but the company needs to know how to monetize in so many different ways without imposing more fees on agents. Traditionally, if a brokerage wanted to make more money, they needed to change their splits or present new fees. We think about it a little bit differently. We think about agents as our partners, and how can we create more value to our partners by bringing in other services, other products that will benefit with them. For example, the wallet, the idea that you have a line of credit from us, even though that line of credit does create some revenue to the company, but it's much cheaper than you going to a bank and taking a line of credit. And I'm not even sure that it's available to you through a bank. So we're trying to think about win-win situations, and then how can we leverage those situations through technology? And we think that long-term, this will result in massive profitability.
And it's taken me a while to see your vision, because I always go back, having owned two brokerages, I always go back to traditional real estate brokerage thought. Like it's almost as if I know somebody's trying to present the principle of Uber to me, and I'm like, no, that's cool. Let's hop in this taxi and talk about it. And you're always like, no, you got to think bigger. So Spring, and then Tracy, Spring, you and I have taught, you're having so many conversations with big teams and brokerages on the agent count side of things. Not sure if you wanted to hit on something else, but just kind of curious, because this is something you're dealing with. This agent count is up, but we're still relatively, like, we have so much growth ahead of us.
Oh, it's insane. I literally just got a text. I have a 172 person company coming over and this week. Like, I just think that the growth is, people are excited regardless of where it's at, but we're in such an early stage of it that people are excited, and they're seeing the early opportunity. And they're also like, I want to be a part of something that's bigger, that has the innovation and stuff. So I think you're going to see, and Tamir, you would know more than I do, but I think you'll see us double this year. I know that in our own world, we're going to double. So I can't imagine as a company that it's not going to double, just from agents being excited about what you're creating.
Tracy, take a second. You were kind of an anchor in Massachusetts. You came on, 18, 24 months ago. You've had a lot of growth since then. What was it that attracted you as a traditional broker into this model? And now what has this growth meant to you?
Yeah, for me, I would just, same thing as you mentioned, Joe, is just like, how many different ways can you split up 100% and still try to be profitable as a broker? And it just, for me, I just kind of looked at it like I'm fighting a losing battle. I can't produce the kind of things that Real can, and they've well exceeded my expectations on everything they're coming out with. I saw them just kind of recreating the same wheel, but they're creating entirely new wheels to this business that I didn't even anticipate coming in, which has been super exciting. And I think that both the real estate industry and the stock industry hasn't even woken up to what Real can do. And I think that's important to know. I'm involved in stock groups that are like, hey, where can I find 100% return on a year on my stock purchases? And they're not even looking at a company that's done over 300% growth in stock price in a year. So I don't think the investing world is really waking up yet to what Real and Tamir are doing, and with the wallet and everything else. So here in Massachusetts, I don't think we've even hit close to our peak growth, because we're traditionally more slow to change in Massachusetts and New England. And so I don't think we've seen it here either. I think the biggest aspect is helping agents do business easier, is using technology and the AI to do business better, because a lot of agents don't buy into right away the stock or the rev share. And I say to agents, I'll prove that to you later. Listen to what I want you to do once you get in here, and I'll prove to you that stock and revenue share can be a valuable benefit to your business
Yeah.
later, but come for the ease of doing business and being able to surround yourself with people that you can really collaborate with. So that's been the biggest part of my kind of look at where we are now and where we're going. Is I don't think we've even come close to
Just
reaching
getting
what we
started.
can, and even in our little area of the world in Massachusetts.
Yeah. So Tamir, I want to be respectful of your time. And Tracy, I appreciate what you said. So transactions are up 78%. The number of closed transactions up 76%. The value of closed transactions up 78%. Adjusted EBITDA is up 275%. So Tamir, take 30 seconds. Q4, I'm sure, is going to be big as well. Like, what are you excited about? I know you are enjoying the world that you're living in now, but I know you're probably even more excited about the world that's coming that we're working on and creating together. So what excites you moving forward?
I got a text today from a guy who invested in us in 2014, one of the first investors. And he said, "You guys keep crushing it, great work." And I thought about this and I replied something along the lines of, there's still so much to do and so much upside in this business. So I'm excited about the fact that even though we're at more than 22,000 agents and we've done so much on innovation, this really is just the beginning. We've built the kind of the foundation, and now the fun part begins. The fun part is building with amazing people that we enjoy building with, and building interesting stuff that has never been tried before. So I'm specifically excited about that. And to be even more specific, I think that AI is going to place us on a whole different level and allow our agents a huge competitive advantage against any other agent in the industry.
Yeah. Well, Taylor and I believed in you when we first met you. It took you probably 7 times to explain to us the real business model back in 2021.
Me too.
Took Spring a little while as well. Pritesh, obviously he loves to kind of, he's this, forget my name and watch me dance. So he's like a human contradiction. But Taylor and I had run a tech company. And so when we started looking at Real, and I've told Pritesh this numerous times, like, dude, you were the model we loved your leadership. And then we met Pritesh, and I was like, for me, logically, looking at publicly traded real estate companies, and I'm not a sophisticated investor at all, but I was like, there has to be something more than just agent count that people evaluate the company based on. So what I got really excited about, and I don't know if you remember this, but I asked the question in one of our early meetings. I'm like, well, this technology, and at that time it was just reason he was building. I'm like, forget about Wallet, forget about Leo, forget about any of that stuff. And I was like, well, who owns this tech? And you guys were like, well, Joe, you would own it. Like, you're a shareholder of the company. And I think Taylor and I were like, our minds were just like, man, if we can have great leadership in a great concept, building great technology with great agents, like I don't see a world in which we can lose. And so, Tamir, I want to respect your time. We appreciate you taking some time on a relatively important and busy day for you and the company. We appreciate you. We support you. We're excited for the future and just grateful you were able to make some time for us.
Appreciate the opportunity, and I love you all. And again, thank you for your partnership. I think that very often people forget that what makes a company great is the people. And I'm just one piece of the puzzle, and you are pieces of that puzzle as well. So thank you for being there.
Thank you.
You're a pretty big piece of the puzzle, but I appreciate you bringing us in on that. Thanks, buddy. All right. So Spring, I know you got some time constraints as well. Just kind of give us your overall thoughts. I mean, to be honest, in my mind, I was like, I've got my daughter in Nicaragua. She's coming home in a month. And so I reverse engineer all the things I'm waiting for in order for her to get here. And it was like, all right, we got to get through the election with some semblance of civility, right? And then it was like, oh, and then we got the real earnings call. And I was like, man, if we get through the election and that's good, the next thing is, how's this earnings call going to look? And I think we've been through this enough to think it's going to be good. We know the growth. We don't have any insider information, but it's like, all right, well, logically speaking, the company's doing really well. But what were some of your thoughts? What's on Brian's mind? I mean, you guys are obviously business partners and talk about this stuff a lot. Just give us some of your thoughts before we send you off.
Yeah, thanks. Well, we haven't talked about it, but Here's the thing. I think we've been growing so fast as a company that we've been growing so fast that like these earnings calls to me, I just expect that they're going to be good. Right. Like I haven't like, it's just one of those things. Is like, cool. We're going to the moon. So Real's just a really cool space that I think for the next 2 to 3 years, you're going to see pretty much the growth to where I just don't see how the earnings calls can't be fantastic. I'm excited.
Well, what are
for all of it?
What's driving people to you? I mean, obviously, you're just the Mount Rushmore of real estate right now. Spring Benson's face being etched up there for sure. Like you do. Whether I know that you're doing a lot, and people are hearing a lot from you. You're building a lot of things, so it's natural that people are reaching out to you. Like, hey, Spring, I'm curious about Real. Like, what are some of those behind the scenes conversation? What is driving people to this ecosystem?
Yeah, I think there's quite a few. I mean, I truly have probably 1,000 agents joining in the next 90 days. A lot of them are like, hey, I'm ready for something new. Like, some of it's, hey, it looks like you're having fun. Tell me what you're doing. Some of it's, hey, I really would love to have a different additional stream of revenue. Tell me about what revenue share looks like. I put a video out about the stock program, 2 months ago. I'm still getting DMs of like, hey, can I talk to you about Real, even just based off of the stock? So to answer your question, Joe, there's not a right or a wrong. Like, there's a lot of reasons, and everybody has a different one. Like the one I had the conversation on today is he's like, I really want to be part of a different community that's a little bit more conscious and doing stuff. So I know that's a roundabout answer. I think everybody is looking at it for something a little bit different. I would say the traditional real estate model is just broken. So it's really hard to compete with a company like Real. When you're a realtor, you have to hang your license somewhere. So why would you hang it at the brokerage that offers you nothing? Or you could, for minimal expenses, hang it at somewhere that you're going to get all the upside of all these opportunities if you choose to participate in them. And I think when somebody even just gets a little bit of that vision, they're like, oh, you're right. The last thing I'll say on this, though, is Tamir hit on it the best. At the end of the day, it's all about the humans and the people that you surround yourself with. And so the growth has really been coming because people are like, yeah, I want to do cool stuff with cool people. And that's what's happening.
Speaking of cool stuff, you've got an event today. You've got over 200 female real estate entrepreneurs.
So Cash, I'm going to head to set up an event in Scottsdale. So it's called She Inc. It's all real estate women, brand agnostic. I'm excited for it. So watch my social media. It's going to be popping with lady leaders of real estate here in a few hours. So,
well, and I just got to say, Spring, you said something that I feel like you basically announced that Superman was going to show up, and we just kind of breezed over. You said you have 1,000 people in the next 90 days that are possibly coming over. So that's insane. Like 1,000 people.
I just have a lot of LOIs out right now. I have a lot of brokerages that are coming. We have a team like this coming next week that's 172 people. I just got a message like an hour before of somebody who came to Rise. It's $100 million team that's coming next week. I just have a lot in the pipeline of people that are like, here's the thing, what people don't understand. And including Joe, you alluded to this before. It took us 7 times on a call with Tamir.
Yeah, to get it.
7 times, same.
Yeah.
I finally said yes and signed an LOI in February, and I didn't come until May. So like, there's a lot of people who are working out the kinks, trying to figure it out. Like, is it right? And so, and they're just watching. And now they're like, okay, it's time, or, hey, my franchise agreement or whatever. And so, yeah, there's a lot of people coming in the next 90 days, and I'm pumped on it. So
that's awesome.
We'll talk really quick, Spring, because we did announce this, you and I and Amy together, and Tracy will be involved, Taylor will be involved. We're doing a Thrive in 2025. Like, we really believe we can help agents grow their business. A lot of what we're going to talk about is building your business beyond transactions, because transactions are the foundation of everything. that we
Yeah.
do, but beyond transactions, I mean, you need walls, you need a roof, you need AC, like, and so
Yeah.
there's other ways we can help people thrive. So
Totally.
what are we looking to do there?
Yeah. And I'm pumped about it. And here's the thing. 3 years ago, you guys, nobody even knew who I was. Like 3 years ago, this is what's crazy, Joe. I joined Real May of 2021. Our team was maybe doing 12. We had 12 agents, 12. I just want to put this in context. So now we have over 80. In the last 3 years, the Spring Bee brand, Real, the rev share. And the reason I'm bringing that up is if I didn't have those things, the Real, the rev share, the stock program, the Spring Bee stuff, that's all been created because of this platform, I would be stressing out. Like if my only stream of revenue was our retail real estate team, which don't get me wrong, it like is the foundation. It gives you the platform and it gives you like your base. We've talked about this. But if it was my only thing, I would be so stressed. So we want to help support and help you guys create more than just your real estate teams or your real estate businesses for that matter. So we're going to come together, Thrive in 25, and offer to help you scale, like how to coach you to sell more real estate, but also agent attraction. So if you're wanting to grow your revenue share, and I have people in my ecosystem, Joe, that use revenue share to pay their car payments. I have some that use it to pay their house payment. I have some that use it to pay their college, whatever. So we're going to help you whatever level it is, like understand it and how to do it. And then as well, like you guys do the investing side, you're going to do a little bit of teaching on how to do investing if you want. Like we're going to go in and just really offer that support to help you grow and scale to whatever level that is you're wanting to do. So I'm pumped about it.
I'm excited as well. I think it becomes malpractice, really. Like if we sit back and go, because something you hear in this ecosystem all the time is like, I don't want to become a recruiter. I just want to do better business and do more transactions. And it's like, no, I get it. But at some point, if we don't at least say, guys, there's additional ways you should be creating money. Some of it's through attraction, some of it's through investment, some of it's through doing flips, some of it's through building a better brand. Like there's things you should be doing. And if we sit back and say, because you and I, this isn't on camera, this is like while we're walking through the airport in Portland, we're like, dude, it has been life-changing. And who are we if we don't tell people like, hey, do it or don't do it, but here's how you do it. And that's really what Thrive is about.
Yeah, I would say it's been very eye-opening to me, like what my purpose and what I'm doing. And Real has really created that platform of being willing to take some risks to do some of these things, right? And so I'm super grateful, and it is irresponsible. One thing I do want to say too, this platform can be whatever you want it to be. So to your point, how you're using the wallet for flipping, like, cool. If you guys don't want to do rev share, like plug into what it offers over here, or even just a stock matching program. Like my stock portfolio, I haven't looked at it, but I've put in $55,000 in 3 years that I could personally contribute. And last I looked, I have $700 and something thousand sitting in there that Real has, it's either grown or Real has matched me or whatnot. And I'm like, why would you not participate? Right. So it's us helping the people in our ecosystem understand how it works and how they can really up level their life in whatever that world or capacity, what they want to do looks like.
Grateful for you. Enjoy your event. And then you've got a little vacation coming. I don't know anyone that deserves it better than you. So appreciate you. Grateful for your partnership. Looking forward to 2025.
Thank you, my friend. See you guys later.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Prince. All right, Tracy, give us your thoughts. So you're an East Coast guy. You're a former brokerage owner. You're obviously an avid investor. Like what are some of the things that you saw waking up this morning and seeing the earnings report, seeing how the market's reacting to it? Give us your. You've had some success on the attraction side. Obviously, you brought over some teams and brokerages, and obviously, you sent me a text a week or so ago, like, man, I'm back. Let's blow this thing up. You had a little health scare, so give us some of your raw thoughts today.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited. It was nice to wake up this morning and by 11 o'clock, kind of see that I had made more than a commission check just on my deal closing opt-in, 5% opt-in before cap and 10% after. Just in the money I put in from just having that set aside, not even including the real match, it was more than a commission check today of increased value. Yeah. So and I've got numerous agents that's changed their lives just opting in and taking the same split they would have had with me as an independent and just putting it aside. It's changing lives. And I mean, that's the thing that, I'm speaking to independents all the time. That's kind of where my, as a brokerage owner, an independent and a franchise owner before that, I can speak to brokerages and I can feel their pain because I went through their pain of trying to always look ahead and say, how can I create a company that is sustainable for me for for my family, for my agents' families? Like, I was worried every single day as an independent broker, like, how can I build that and how can I make it sustainable and then have an exit strategy for me and my family should I want to retire or if I get hit by a train or have that health scare that I just had that could have gone the wrong direction. So it's, that's something that I think is never going to go away again. The independent broker owners and the franchise owners, the broker owners, what they're up against, unless they're with a company like Real, is not going away. That it's going to be a hard road to figure out how to make that world work when there's options like Real where you can bring your company in, you can even white label, keep your own branding, and find a much better path to the future you've always were looking for. I mean, I searched for it for 18 years, couldn't find it until I found Real. And one of the things that I don't think agents understand is, for someone that's a coach and mentor first and was a broker owner second, this opens the door for me to spend way more time helping people grow than when I was a broker owner. And so you get a comparison of, well, you're going to a cloud-based company like Real, there's going to be no support and no coaching or mentoring. It's not true in the least bit. It actually allows people like you, me, and Taylor to spend time on the stuff that's really that matters to people. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you, my guy. The thing that I need from you is we need to do another event in Boston.
Yes.
In my opinion, I've traveled a decent amount in my life. Boston is the greatest city on earth. So let's get another agent event going.
Let's do it.
It'll take virtually nothing to get me out there. So let's get that going. Appreciate you. Taylor and I are going to wrap it up. Thanks, Tracy. Taylor, I mean, you and I are entrepreneurs. We talked about this at the Rise conference. Sharon and I had a conversation in which, from time to time, agents will kind of throw a dig at Real and say, like, if you want to do TikToks and buy tennis shoes, go to Real. If you're a real entrepreneur, look at these other companies. I think we're changing that narrative. We are becoming a hyper entrepreneurial system. You and I run 4 businesses. We run a team. We run a network of agents. We run an investment business. We're part of Real Title. Like, we're doing a lot of stuff. And I love what Spring said, like, for us, Real is a hyper entrepreneurial ecosystem that we're no longer in Kansas and we are no longer Dorothy and Toto anymore. Like, we're in this whole new world. And I think that's what agents don't understand is that, like, this isn't about picking a brokerage. This is about putting yourself in an ecosystem that's going to allow you, Taylor, crazy real estate investment mind, running a team of guys on our acquisitions and liquidation and things like that. Joe, who probably really enjoys public speaking and mentorship and coaching and marketing. And now we land in this ecosystem and I'm like, hey, how about you just do what you're best at and I'll just do what I'm best at and we'll see what our world turns into. And it's been amazing. So close us out, Taylor. What are some of your thoughts on that as an entrepreneur leveraging this ecosystem?
Well, I will say, when we joined Real 3 years ago, who would have ever thought the day would come when we could have a guy down the hall calling people to see if they want to sell their houses, find a seller that's very motivated, lock up a deal, put it in contract, open escrow, and then we, from our app on our phone, jump on, go to the Real wallet and say, we need $460,000. We type it in there. We have 48 hours later, we have 460,000 cash at a rate that is far better than any hard money lender can give. and we can then close that deal. I mean, a lot of investors say we can close in as little as 5 to 7 days, but we all know that's just bait and switch. But we literally now can lock up a deal, request the funds, have it in 48 hours, close as soon as title is ready at a rate that is just allowing our profitability margins on these investments to go through the roof. So for us, we joined Real 3 years ago because of the leadership and because like you mentioned, Pratash and the tech and everything else. But now they just keep delivering. It's like going to a restaurant and the appetizer is amazing, and then they bring you a salad that you're like, this is so good. And then the main course is the best you've ever had. And then they bring you another main course and another one and a dessert. It just seems like the longer we're here, the better it gets. And the trajectory is over the moon. I'm so excited. The investment, everything that you mentioned ties together perfectly. And it's just a symphony of entrepreneurship heaven for both of us. So it's phenomenal. It's been wonderful.
Well, let me close with this. I totally agree with you. Here's the 4 things that really matter, guys. And this is my closing pitch. This is my my Monday night before the election. Just hear me out. Number 1, if you're going to belong to a real estate company, you need to belong to one that values collaboration over competition. And so the culture of your real estate entrepreneurial company matters. And that is one thing that Real has beat into us and make sure that, like, Joe, you're here to collaborate, not to compete. You're here to learn and teach and not to battle. And so the culture of your company matters. And I believe Real is one of the top cultural companies in the real estate space in that we highly value collaboration over competition. Number 2, the economics matter. So not just your floor as far as how much it costs to belong to your company, but the ceiling as far as how many points of income can you benefit from. So it is commission, and it is revenue share, and it is stock ownership, and it is partnership in a title company, and it is partnership in mortgage. Like, as an entrepreneur, I'm appealing to you to recognize that it's not just find the cheapest brokerage out there. It is find the best ecosystem that has a reasonable cost of entry and an unlimited opportunity to earn. So the culture is number 1. The opportunity is number 2. Number 3 is the technology. You need to find a company that not only has great culture, and I said opportunity, I mean economics, not only great culture and economics, but has great technology. Real is valued not just for its agent count and profitability, but some of that profitability comes from technology, and it has tangible assets that it owns. And last but not least is, yes, the opportunity. We're at 22,000 agents. We are going to get to 60,000 agents. I don't know if it'll be a year. I don't know if it'll be 2 years. I don't know if it'll be 3 years. And so if you're sitting there going like, man, good for Joe and Taylor. They got there 3 years ago, and they've been a part of this wave that's gone from 2,000 to 20,000 agents. Guys, that's 20,000, 18,000 agent growth since we came to the company. Really 20,000, going from 2,000 to 22,000. We are going to go to 60, meaning there's another 38,000 agents out there that are going to join our ecosystem. So in theory, your opportunity to grow is much bigger than my opportunity has been for the last 3 years. And you don't have to go through any of the growing pains to capitalize on that opportunity that we had to go through. And so Taylor and I thank our lucky stars. We are faithful individuals. I know both of us in our daily prayers or nightly prayers have been like, this is just so grateful to be in an ecosystem that allows us to do what we do best. Because in reality, real estate is not our life. Taylor and I are not real estate cocktail party guys. We are not our only friends exist in the real estate ecosystem. We do this so that we can be passionate husbands, obsessed fathers, servant leaders. And I just cannot tell you how grateful I am to be a part of this ecosystem. And Taylor, to end it all out, I mean, I think the best is yet to come. And so I'm excited for us. I'm excited for the company. Today's a great day. The earnings call is just a manifestation of what we've been experiencing over the last couple of months. Q4 earnings call is going to be great. Like Q1 next year is going to be great because we are going to continue to grow and build as a company. And I'm just stoked for it. That's it.
Okay. That's it.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great day.